Hello and welcome back to Expert Matters. My name is Shruti, and this is the series where real professionals break down their real careers for you. Today's guest is SHUBHAM KHAIRNAR. He's currently manager in corporate learning at Aditya Birla Capital. And from building learning strategies in finance to getting started in HR, he's done it all. If you're curious about how to grow in L&D, transition industries, or how to use your MBA the smart way, Shubham is going to answer all the questions for you. And this episode is for you. First of all, thank you so much, Shubham, for joining us. Thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you, Shruti. Thank you for inviting me to this podcast. Excited.
Lovely to have you on board. Can you please help us understand about your journey in the industry so far?
Sure. I'll start with my MBA. I did my MBA at NIT Agartala, during which I was also pursuing my diploma in HR analytics from IIM Rohtak. It helped me in my later years in working at Aditya Birla. So my major was in HR and minor was with marketing. After my MBA, I joined Aditya Birla Group's Global Center for Leadership and Development, what we call it Gyanodaya. It is Aditya Birla Group's Center for Learning and Development. It's a beautiful campus though. Post that, I spent there a few years. I went to AkzoNobel, where I was leading the L&D operations. We had a team seated out of Pune, where it was a GBS center. So my role moved from trainings to suddenly into the tech part of the L&D, where I learned much different exposure I received. Then I'm back with Aditya Birla Group in their financial services business, Aditya Birla Capital, where I take care of corporate learning and development. So the journey has been exciting, really, and enriching for me, and glad to help people also enrich their careers and their lives. So that's briefly all about it.
Amazing. I'm sure, Shubham, that corporate learning is not a very easy nut to crack. Can you help us understand what does a typical day in your role as a corporate learning manager look like, or what all activities does it involve?
Sure. So, firstly, no 2 days look the same here in corporate learning. But if I had to sum it up, it is a mix of designing meaningful learning interventions, collaborating with business heads to solve skill gaps, ensuring engagement via platforms like we use here, and the e-learning platforms and the course libraries which we have here, and then tracking adoption data to refine our strategies. Some days I'm creating storyboards, some days I'm anchoring sessions, and on other days I'm problem solving tech or culture gaps in learning.
That sounds pretty exciting. Shubham, there is one query from all the students we have spoken to before this episode. Many students, they got confused between learning and development and general HR. How would you, being a part of learning and development industry, would explain this difference?
Sure. And it's a very interesting question. Even I had the question when I was doing my studies. To make it easier, L&D is a subset of HR function. HR has several functions like we know, from talent acquisition to leading the business front as an HR VP to compliance, rewards, and one of them is also learning and development, which plays its own critical role. General HR is about managing the life cycle of an employee from recruitment right till the exit, the entire life cycle. Whereas learning and development is about enhancing that lifestyle, layers of skills, behaviors, and leadership abilities. So we are not just onboarding company, one learning experience at a time. And like we say, human is a resource. However, we upskilling that resource is our job. So that's how I see it.
Amazing response to that. I don't think there could be any best answer to this question. Shubham, I have one more question, one more doubt to be specific. What kind of skill sets or mindset do companies look for when they are hiring freshers for this role? Say, for example, if I, being a student and I have no job experience and I've just completed my postgraduate diploma or maybe MBA, and I want to start my first role in the industry as an L&D professional, what are the skill set or what are the qualities should I need to have to impress these companies or tap these companies?
Sure. Particularly for the role of an HR, or more specifically to an learning and development professional, we love curiosity over compliance. So, what I mean is, we love people who ask why not instead of just ticking the compliance boxes. The agility, basic data literacy, definitely, empathy, and the ability to simplify complex information. These are all crucial things. And also initiative. You know, a fresher who says, I tried this new model which I read about, he stands out instantly among all these peers, I would say. So yes, the flexible mindset, agility, and definitely having some hands-on about the tools in the industry that you want to get into. You're a marketing person, maybe you want to try your hands with SEOs, um, the search engine optimizations. If you're in the HR field, if you've done some research, some initiatives that you've taken, your reading and your knowledge about the learning managements, and definitely the Excel. Yeah.
Right, understood. And how important do you think is the role of these learning tools like Excel or SEO or maybe HRMS platforms during college?
Pretty much, pretty much. Nowadays, Excel has become pretty much a mandate. Hygiene, what I would say, when you enter a corporate, because we do conduct reviews, however, you can collaborate with somebody who is an employee over there and learn what are the features of that particular HRMS or the learning management platforms. So, yes, that's definitely uh, what I would suggest.
Fair enough. You get started to learn or get a gist about what could be the tools you're going to take care of while you start working before you actually start working. That sounds fair. Shubham, you also have worked in both IT and insurance industries. How different is HR in these industries, and especially in terms of learning needs?
That's a beautiful question because I felt the difference and I would acknowledge it. IT, I would say it was a more of a GBS. It's a global business center. So we handle the tech part for the company and all the operations back at ExxonMobil. So yes, in that particular organization, learning is deeply tied to skills, tools, frameworks, and certifications. It's all the tech minds over there who are streamlining processes, who are doing robotic process automation, RPAs, and stuff. In insurance, it is more behavior led. Like you have the selling skills, the compliance, the empathy driven customer connect, the people elevating from individual contributor to the first time managers, then managerial effectiveness you drive. You have these customer delight programs. So there's a lot of focus and investment, I would say, on behavioral learnings equal to the functional learning. So yes, both demand different styles of engagement, and it taught me that one size doesn't fit all. It definitely is true in L&D space.
Amazing. Shubham, I'm sure that being an L&D professional, you take care of a lot of complex topics and break it down to simple conclusions and simple pointers for individuals to learn. Can you also share a real example of a training program that made a very big impact at your company?
Sure. When you ask that, I can recollect a couple of them actually. The one we did for Women Leadership Development Program. Uh, the point of that program was to elevate the junior management cadre employees towards the mid management and the senior management. The impact of the program was we told them about the career ability, what are the career ability aspects that they have within the organization, what are the resources that they can utilize, how they can upskill themselves, how they can network themselves. We have an ocean of opportunities here, so can have movements within the business, you can move within the role, so how you can grow through it. Then what are the challenges we acknowledge that they face, being an employee, being a in their personal lives as well, how to tackle those situations, how to have a buddy, a mentor who can guide them through this. And the impact was phenomenal. The trainers who conducted this program, they didn't just conduct a batch, rather the batch entirely was such a synergetic batch that after that also people do come and meet the trainers, they share their good experiences, they come for the challenges as well. So a great amount of synergy has been built. We have seen people elevate post that, people have written to us in their testimonials, how this program encouraged them, open their boundaries and their mindset. Another program which created a business impact was we did for the customer experience, where a team was empaneled to check the persistency, and they were first time going to interact with the customers. So there were certain trainings which we conducted regarding the products, the older products, which were sold to our customers long time back. These are the new employees, so they had to be trained about the older products. Then an investment session about how to read the fact sheets, then about some technical know-hows. Then we collaborated with another team from the sales training team who gave us certain important highlights and the important claims, because in my organization we promote transparency and good work ethic. Hence all the claims were told to them how the claim settlement works, how which are the crucial clauses in each of these products. And the persistency has driven after that. In the span of 6 months, the persistency grew, the numbers got better, the team became confident, the dependency on other teams for every case became less and less, and they became self dependent. So these are the things that we get to see through our trainings, yeah. And that's the impact we create. And definitely love it when people come back and tell us how the trainings help them. Also, feedbacks we receive from their managers or some other folks, we inculcate them. Yeah, so that's how it works. That's a very dynamic playground here. I'm loving it.
That's a beautiful process, because the impact you make on individuals, it does not just stays with them till they are at your current company, but beyond a level in the industry. Do you think your MBA has helped you shape these skill set, or maybe apply these skill set in your current role?
Yeah, definitely. So MBA has taught a lot of things. Among them is the leadership. Uh, and leadership doesn't begin with a designation or a corporate badge, it begins with the behavior. So during the MBA days, when you're asked to collaborate with different teams, you have to work on those projects by yourself. That's when you start getting into the process. So my advice also to the listeners of this podcast would be organize events, take charge of the affairs, lead a group project, or meditate in the team conflicts, mediate. So these are the opportunities where you will practice your leadership. And another crucial skill is feedback, both giving and receiving the feedback. So most professionals, they struggle with this even years into their careers. That if you can get comfortable sharing constructive feedback with the classmates and actively seeking it for your own growth, you will be ahead of the curve. And
That's a
also,
very beautiful advice. Yes, you were saying something.
yeah, and also volunteer to facilitate. Facilitation is a beautiful skill. Once you get into it, you'll start getting the beauty of it, how you can lead groups through the conversations. So be it a peer learning session or a debate or a case competition, it will sharpen your clarity of thought, boost confidence, and teach you how to handle a room, which is a big part of the corporate leadership. So yeah, basically, leadership is about the intent and the initiative. Yes.
Amazing. I actually loved this entire session, this entire quite short but very exciting and lovely podcast which we had. I especially loved how you broke down your transition into Aditya Birla Capital when you had previous experience in different industries, and it was super insightful for anyone who is trying to move industries or transition industry or maybe scale up as well. Uh, and it was, I think, pretty clear. You gave and you advised with your experience, it was backed up with such clarity that it is definitely going to help navigate multiple roles in L&D to crack opportunities. Uh, Thank you so much, Shubham. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your story with super clarity. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shruti.
I'm sure that we are going to have you again, and we'll see you when you're designing the next big L&D revolution. To everyone who's watching this video, let us know in the comments what's the one thing you're taking away from Shubham's journey. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and also hit connection request to Shubham on LinkedIn. This was Expert Matters, where learning never stops. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much, Shubham, for being us.
Thank you, Shruti. Thank you, team.